In our previous video, we understand the features about Cloud Spanner, and we have created the Spanner instance. So this is the Spanner instance, right? So in this video, let's create database and let's see the advantages about the Spanner. So in order to create the database in the Spanner dashboard or the instance homepage, right? If you see here under near database, you'd be seeing an option to create the database. So if you can click here, it would be asking you for the database name. So I'm just giving classroom classroom at 1. Okay. And either are you going for Google standard SQL or PostgreSQL? I'm just going with the Google standard SQL. And there are two ways. Either you can define with the DDL template. Either you can create tables and other stuffs here itself while you are creating database, or else once you created a database, you can again access the database and you can create it accordingly. Maybe I'll show you here itself. So I'm just going to DDL template. Under that, you're having multiple options and you can manage your database accordingly. I'm just showing you a simple creation of table. Under create, you will be seeing something like create table. Okay. So once you click create table, here you would be getting the default template to create it. Okay. And the template for us is create space table. Maybe I can zoom. Let me try to zoom in. Okay, my zoom. Okay. So if you see here, right, um, create table. This is the template that is auto created, and create space table. Here we need to specify the table name and column name and what type of a column we need to mention, and mainly we need to define the key here. So based on that key only we can perform operations. Maybe I'll just create some simple table as the database is classroom. What I'll do, let me create table student. Okay. And here in my student table, the first one should be the roll ID, or else the roll number of the student. Okay. So roll number, again number is the keyword, so I'm just using ID. Okay. So it should be as it role ID, it should be a number, right? So I'm just giving integer 64. It is giving you the suggestions. Fine. And enter. Then you can then what I need name. Okay. Name of the student. Fine. And it should be string. Fine. Comma. And that's fine. A simple table, for a simple table, that would be fine. Okay. And one more column, maybe class. Okay. Or department, I add department space, that is also string. Fine. And the primary key is actually here name and department, but the roll number is unique, right? So I'm just keeping here, making the roll ID as the primary key. Okay. So now I can create. If you click create button here, it would create. So it is showing an error. Span. Okay. It is showing an error. Okay. What happened? Okay. The main thing is I just forgot to define the string length, right? So I'm just defining as like maybe 30, 30 letters. Okay, max. And here And here too for department also, I'm just giving maybe 30 letters. That's fine. I'm deleting the space button here. Now, if I click create here, our new database would be created, and within the database, our new table student would be created. Okay, let's see once it is done. Okay, our database is created now. It take few seconds. Let's wait. Yes, it's created now. Okay, so the name of the database is classroom, and we are using Google Standard SQL. And if you want to delete the database, you can click here to delete. And if you want to again write a schema DDL, you can click here and define it. And if you want to add one more table in the same database, just click create table, and you can again define the same. As like how you created the student table, you need to give the name of the table and define the column name and column type along with the primary key. So once you define all this in this DDL template and click submit, a new table would be created. So as of now, I'm just going with the one table only. So I'm just canceling it. Fine. So so this is how our database, we can create a new database, and within the database we can either create a table along when we are creating the database, or else once we create the database also we can create the table. So now I'm just clicking my table. So now I'm inside my table. Okay, and if you see, these are all the columns, right? I have given role ID, and this is the keyword. So that's the reason you are seeing as like a primary key, because it is a unique one. So role ID, name, and the department the student belongs to, these are all the informations that would be the part of the table student. Fine. And also you can make not null, those kind of a steps as well. It's kind of a simple, the same SQL only. Okay, so if you want to add data, how we can do, just come here to data, click here. So it takes few seconds. And so once you click data, already you are within the instance. Okay, so this is the name of our instance, and within that instance, this is the name of the database that we have created within it, and this is the table that we have created within the database. So this is the matrix or the hierarchy. So now we are in the table within the database classroom 1. Let me add a few data in it. So by clicking insert. Okay, so what you can do, you can fill the query here, and you can click run. So once you click run here, it would be executed and added to the table. Okay, so it is already it is defined. Okay, already the Google SQL comments are defined here. Insert into where the student database in the sorry it would be insert into the student table. What are the informations it's going to insert? Role ID, name, and department. So here is the place where we define the value to the role ID, name, and department. So once you define the value, we also defined from where it should get inserted, to which matching keyword it should instance it should fill, right? It should insert. So you should again give your role ID here. So once you give and click run, it would be added. Maybe I'll show you role ID. So we have given role ID as an integer, right? So any number I can give. Maybe I'll give us like 1 or 100. Okay. And name of the student is Shiva. And department the student is maybe computers. Okay. Fine. So now what I need to do, I should come here and define the role ID here. So before that, it is showing as an error here because of this space. There is no space. Fine. So the role ID is 100 for this particular student, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to define the role ID here. So once you make 100, okay, so I'm just putting the same role ID here in the role ID section, and if I run, then this script would be executed. There is an error, query failed, unrecognized name Shiva at string. Okay, okay, again I missed one more thing. Apostrophe. Okay, so here too, adding it. Fine. So now let me try to run it. So the query is one row is inserted. So if you go to the table and see, we can see the student name Shiva and department name computers, and with role ID is inserted. Okay. Maybe I'll just go and see. You can also go and see from here also. And all the informations are available here as like schemas information. And if you again want to add data, just click here in data. See, the information which we added is available here. If I add one more data here, just click insert and 101, and the name is just putting Shambhu. Okay, and here the department is again computers. Okay, and the roll number is 101. Let me try to execute it. So if you see, one more row is inserted. You can again go here and check the same. So this is how you can add more data to your table. And if you want to edit it, you can, using the edit button, you can do it by selecting any data, and you can edit the same as well. So this is how you can create a database and add a table and to insert data within the table. And if you want to delete the table also, it's possible by going here and click delete table. And if you want to check the queries, you can again come back here, and the history of queries also would be available. So this is the first query we have executed, and this is the second query we have executed. So the history of the queries also would be available here. Fine. So now let me go back to my database. Okay, and by just clicking here in the database, you'll be coming one step before forward. Okay, fine. And as like the same, how we did the export import in the SQL, Cloud SQL, it is same. You can import or export any database from here. As similar to the Cloud SQL, you need to create bucket, and we can export it to the bucket, and from the bucket you can access it, you can download the content. But the main important thing is Google would charge you when you try to export the data from Spanner. When you try to export it from SQL, you would not charge much. But however, as it is deployed in a multi-region and those stuffs, it is, as I said earlier, it is expensive, so you would be charged. Maybe I'll show you till that point. If you click export, it would be asking you for the destination, and if you can browse again, you'd be redirected to create a bucket. By clicking here, you can create a bucket, and my spanner bucket. Okay, continue, and I'm just going with the single region. Okay, Iowa is fine, and just going with the create. So once it's created, it will allow you to select it. Okay, now we have selected this as the destination, this bucket as the destination to export our data, the database, right? So next, so here you can define which database you want to export. Whether you want to export means basically I have created only one database. That's the reason I'm seeing only one database here. And if I have created multiple database, I would see multiple database informations here. So based on that, which database you want to export, you can choose that database and can proceed to next. And here you can choose any region. Say for example, if I'm choosing Mumbai, it would be this job is done or exported to that region, and clicking next. And I understand that this export will incur cloud data flow charge at the standard rate. So means basically you are charged here. Okay, so I'm not exporting. That's the reason I'm not exporting, because my free trial account is over. So if I export it, I would be charged. But this is same as like what we did in the previous section, the Cloud SQL one. So once you click export, again you would be seeing a notification message that you would be charged this much amount if you are doing so. Then again, once you are okay with that and acknowledging it, then your database would be exported to the bucket, and by clicking that, you can download the database. Okay, so I don't want to again go with that, because we already covered that part in previous section. As like the same, once you have your database in your bucket, you can also import the database from there. Okay, and backup and restore is also similar one. You can just create, by clicking here you can create a backup. And in the Cloud SQL, right, we have only one replica. So backup is very very important. Here as well, backup is important, but we don't need to worry about it, because it's replicated across region. Or though you are going with a single region deployment, it is replicated in all the zones of the region. Okay, so you don't need to worry about if something happens, your entire database will not go, because you would be having a replica. So this is an overview. So if you have more transactions, you'd be seeing the CPU utilization and throughput, operation rates, and so all informations here. And also you have something like monitoring here, and multiple monitoring, CPU utilization, high priority, CPU utilizations on priority basis, high, medium, low. So those informations are available, and total CPU utilization and latency, network latency. And we have multiple monitoring tools available here to monitor your instance, your database within the instance. Okay, fine. I'm just coming back to my instance. So as how you exported the database, it is also possible to export your complete instance. Say for example, if you have around some 20 database within this instance, so instead of exporting, if you want to export one particular database, very simple, just go to the database, and within that database you can export it. And if you want to export the entire instance, if you have around some 20 database, or more number of data, more than any one number of database also, if you want to export the complete instance, you can go from here. As well as if you want to import it, you can import from here as well. And this is same as like the backup and restore what we have discussed earlier. And monitoring will provide you different types of monitoring. Okay, so this is all about the spanner part. Okay, so as I said earlier, in a previous video, it's more expensive. So make sure that once you have completed your practice, if you are practicing through your free trial account, and once you have completed, make sure to delete it. Okay, just click it, and you can delete this instance by clicking here. You should confirm your instance here, my cloud spanner -e, so that your instance would be deleted. All right, so this is all about cloud spanner. Thank you.